Throughout our project, we have encountered many positive situations, difficult hurdles, and continue to have a myriad of ongoing challenges. These have been met at times with determination to pursue success, at other times have hindered the progress of our group. These will be detailed throughout this video. We hope you enjoy.
The fact that boys often play sport at lunchtimes and girls generally don't is definitely an issue. It is of course a personal choice, but the fact is, girls aren't always encouraged to play sports. Girls' AFL participation has increased significantly following the introduction of AFL Women's. This shows how confidence and the fact that it was also seen as a girls' activity meant that more girls wanted to play.
This is important as girls need as much exercise as boys do, but they aren't getting it due to lack of interest if it is seen as a male activity. As well as lessening the probability of negative physical effects, equal sport participation leads to a positive and equal connection across genders. This is because team sports bring out positive attributes such as teamwork. This can have a long-term impact on the community, giving females a stronger confidence in themselves, allowing them to try other new things they wouldn't have otherwise. Equivalence between genders with regards to sport participation isn't only an issue in school sports teams, but also in workplaces and other areas.
In order to tackle our issue of equal sport participation, we had to find a way to promote confidence through sport. We decided an effective way of doing this would be to create an informative and inspirational video to show to students and pair it with an activity promoting teamwork across genders. What we needed was multiple schools to present to as well as interview candidates. We decided to get grade 3-4s were a good audience to reach out to as they were young enough to make an impact on, but old enough to understand the issue. Wanted to show that girls have less confidence and self-belief than boys do. Male members of our society are generally dominant, and if we teach girls to feel equal from an early age, it could impact their confidence for later on in life. The first step we completed was sending a letter outlining the issue and our proposition to potential schools. We sent this to our 3 primary schools as we knew them well. We wrote the letter on the 3rd of August and sent it on the 8th.
Our next step was creating our video. We found 4 interview candidates altogether. The first was Cartier, who was from our year level. She is an accomplished swimmer who shared some inspirational successes, which showed her courage and determination. We filmed her on the 15th of August.
You overcome them?
When I was 11, I was at peak performance and I won 9 gold medals at short course. And then straight after that, I got a back injury which lasted 2 years. I wasn't able to swim 50 meters. I got really sore. I was able to overcome that by going regularly to the physio, working hard with rehab and
The second were Poppy and Ali, who were grade 5 footballers. As well as their football experience, they had some insight into primary school PE classes and the fact that boys hug the ball. We filmed them on the 26th of August.
The boys just really hug it and pass it to each other.
Because most of them think they're like really good, but they're not really. So they just hug it and they don't pass to girls at all because they just think we're weak and we can't do anything with sport, but we really can and they just think we can't.
Our last interview candidate was 17-year-old Bess, who plays for the under-18 Melbourne Girls College football team. She was able to tell us about the reason why many girls stop sport is because of the lack of self-belief many girls develop in teenagehood. We filmed her on the 11th of September.
When girls go through teenage years, they kind of lack a lot of self-confidence and they get a bit more self-conscious about what people think of them.
Once we had finished the video, all we needed was to organise a date for our activity. Replies didn't come in straight away, so we sent out more proposals to broaden our chances of a reply. We got a couple back and organised 2 sessions with Warringah Park School and 1 with Williamstown Primary School. Warringah Park School was a special learning school, which although wasn't originally planned, turned out to be successful. Confidence through sport was a good thing for these kids to learn about, as most of them struggle with self-belief.
The students from Warringah Park listened to the video and engaged in our activities. We played at Octopus as a warm-up, then followed as with a team building and skill building activity. It consisted of passing the ball around a circle in a particular order. Students had to remember who passed to them and who to pass to. More balls were added to the circle, making it challenging. Not only did the activity promote team building across genders, as well as communication, it also acted as an introductory skill, building the activity for handball match at the end. As it was a special learning school, there were only about 10 students in a class, meaning there were 5 on a team. The class worked well at playing as a team, and although some of the boys wanted to hog the ball, the activity overall was very successful. The students took into account the 3-step rule and used female and male teammates alike to get the ball into attack. We did 1 session at Warringah Park on the 18th of September and the 2nd on the 19th. We did a similar session plan where we went to the Williamstown Primary, but adapted it a bit as there were 30 students. We added a game called the Atom Game, which involved us calling out a number and the students getting into groups of that amount. There had to be both boys and girls in the group. The other adaptation was for handball, as we made it number handball instead. This way, the playing area wasn't as crowded and people got more of a go.
Throughout our Year 9 project experience, we encountered hurdles, but we were able to overcome them as a group. Earlier on in our project, group member Tamis was away, followed by Fiona being away. This set us behind slightly on some tasks, but we were able to overcome this and get back on track.
Something we were worried about as a group was getting a reply back from schools. We were nervous that they would disregard our proposal and our project wouldn't go anywhere. To broaden probabilities of getting a reply, we sent out extra emails. We ended up getting 4 replies altogether. 1 school said no, but the other 3 were interested. We were able to pursue with 2 of those schools.
Another hurdle we had was adapting our activity to suit different schools. Warringah Park was a special learning school with classes of 10, meaning some activities didn't fit the numbers, such as the Adams Game. We also needed to make it as stress-free as possible. For our 3rd session at Williamstown Primary, the number of students was 3 times as much, meaning the teams for handball would be too large. We accommodated this issue by playing number handball, where we called out 3 to 4 numbers at a time.
A personal success I've had throughout the Year 9 project is being able to overcome my fear of talking in front of large crowds. Now I am reasonably comfortable with talking in front of classes and students, as Year 9 has given me plenty of opportunities to practice this. An example of this is talking in front of students at Warringah Park and Williamstown, and also having various opportunities to present work in front of the class at different subjects.
A personal success I've had throughout my project experience is becoming more confident and coming out of my comfort zone more. Due to interacting with group members as well as project stakeholders and younger students, I've needed to express ideas and communicate information.
My 2 biggest personal successes throughout the project were slowly becoming more productive as the project went on. Originally, I think at the start of the project, I was reasonably productive. Like, the project was pretty open-ended and general at that stage, and I think I collaborated well with the group. But then later on, I feel like my contribution to the group and our overall the quality of the work we produced slipped down a bit. So especially around Pol 3, I tried to improve that. So that was a success for me following the improvement.
Overall, throughout Year 9, a skill that I have improved is communication. This has been due to working in a collaborative group, as I had many opportunities to voice my ideas and speak out more. A lesson that I have learned is that if you work hard, rewards will always come to you. Another lesson that I've learned is that if you ever feel down and you need an energy boost, just go to your teammates for it.
A skill I have gained throughout my project experience was collaboration. Working on a big project alongside multiple classmates is something I haven't really needed to do before Year 9. But after a year of working in a group, I have a stronger grasp on collaborative strategies that I can implement into future collaborative situations. I understand the necessities of communication via group chats and utilizing tools such as Collaboration Space or OneNote in order to effectively work as a group. Throughout our research, including talking to our interview candidates, I personally have learnt how becoming more confident from an earlier age can impact you later on in life.
This informative video, we hope you have gained an insight into the project journey we have faced so far, as well as the experiences we have learnt from and the ways in which we will face future challenges.